Greetings again guys, AJ here, and before I start the commencement of this video, add me up on Snapchat and also follow my social media so you don't miss your chance to ask me questions and to feature in videos like this. For those of you who actually do care about me and have me on Snapchat, that means all 5 of you. I will answer your questions on this video and hopefully it's helpful for you guys and it's also helpful for anyone else that's watching this video. Like I said, if you want to ask me questions, you know what to do. It should be there, or it should be there. It won't take you long to hit the follow button, so do it. Do it now. First question is from Maz. Would you recommend weight management classes or is it a waste of time? Maz, I'm going to answer your question logically. I always apply some logic to everything. If I give an answer, it has to have logic. If I'm going to make a decision, it has to have some logic. Now, weight management classes, I don't really know much about them. I've never personally taken part in a weight management class. I've never recommended it to any of my clients or any of my friends. And I don't think I know anyone that's taken weight management classes. But it's a step. And if you think that it will help you, then take that step, even if it means that you won't get the results that you need. Even if it means you don't enjoy it, at least you take that first step and you try. I always say you don't know anything until you try. So my answer is, I don't know, because I can only give you my advice personally, but I won't tell you not to do something that can potentially change your life. So give it a try, see how it goes, see if it's for you. The next question is from Saba. How do you get back into training after a fracture on the leg? Well, personally, Saba, I've not actually fractured my leg, so I wouldn't know how that feels, but I do genuinely feel sorry for you because I can relate. I've had injuries myself and I know how much of a setback it can be, and it's not just physical, it's also mental and emotional as well. A lot of people that haven't had injuries, they don't understand. Every time I tell someone I've got a pain here, I've got a pain there, they can advise me. And they can give me all the advice in the world and tell me I'm doing something wrong or I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. But unless they've felt my pain, unless they've had that injury, they don't know what I'm going through. So I don't know what you're going through, not completely, but I can relate. There's always that mental barrier. In the back of your head, you're thinking, I don't want to do this certain activity in case it triggers my injury. Naturally, we're going to make a lot of excuses in our heads. Our mind controls everything, right? Our mind controls the pain that we feel, the pleasure that we feel. So if your brain suddenly thinks, oh shit, Saba's about to do an activity which may cause another fracture in her leg, automatically you'll have that fear in your heart and you'll start feeling a bit of pain in your leg, which isn't really pain, it's just your brain playing games with you, telling you not to do it. Now it is difficult and there's no definitive answer, but the best thing that you can do is slowly work yourself in. Try little things at first, see how you feel, then slowly progress and then keep progressing, and eventually you'll get over your injury. Hopefully it works out for you. I hope that it works out for you. The next question is from Hasif. Seeing as most protein powders don't allow under 18s, what would your advice be for kids? I genuinely have not heard that protein is not permitted for those under 18. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But look, protein is not the be all and end all. If you want to take it, go ahead and take it. There's pros and cons for taking it and there's pros and cons for not taking it. I'm going to tell you why you should take it first. Now, if you're under 18, you don't have a job, you're studying, you have time restrictions, and it's difficult for you to bulk and it's difficult for you to live this lifestyle. I know, I've been young myself, and if I went back to when I was between 16 to 18, it would be difficult for me to maintain this lifestyle, especially the diet. Protein powder is convenient because it's cheaper than eating, it's convenient, it's quick, and it's easy. But on the other hand, I would recommend that you eat your protein, so chicken, tuna, anything that you can get your hands on, but I can understand that you're young and it may be difficult for you financially. Also bear in mind that macros shouldn't be a serious issue from when you're younger. Yeah, it helps, and I'm not saying that it doesn't, and I'm not advising you against it, but look, just enjoy your lifting, don't worry about your diet, and it will all come. You're young, you're still developing, and you've got a lot of time. That's my answer. If you want to take protein, go ahead and take it. I've never heard of an under 18 protein ban, and if you don't want to take protein, or if you can financially consume your protein via food, then do that. Next questions are from Shanaz, who has asked me 2 questions, and I'm going to be really nice and answer those questions simply because not a lot of people ask me questions and it's video content, right? And it helps you guys. How do you discipline yourself when you take rest days or have a cheat meal? That's a tough one. It's a tough one because we're all different and we're all different personalities. We do different things. We have different habits. So it's a tough question to answer. I can only answer this question personally, but I guess you are actually asking me what I personally do, so that's how I'll answer it. So on my rest days, how do I keep myself disciplined? If you mean by diet, I know I'm not training, so I don't need to eat pre or post workout meals. I kind of watch what I eat. I just make sure that I get my water intake in. I make sure that I eat sensibly, and that's all. So in terms of cheat meals, I don't actually have cheat meals. I generally stick to my diet and I keep it as clean as possible, whether I'm cutting or whether I'm bulking. But sometimes I do crave KFC, or I do crave a pizza or something, and I wouldn't stop myself from getting myself a pizza or getting myself KFC, but it's all about limiting yourself. If you're going to go to KFC, try and keep it as clean as possible, and try and keep it as small as possible, and just have 1 meal. Don't have 2 meals and don't pig out. Basically what I'm trying to say is, don't make it a cheat day, have a cheat meal, but don't make it a cheat day and only have it when you crave it the most. Her second question is, what's the one food that makes you gain weight? I'm assuming bread, but I may be wrong. It's subjective. Like I said, we're all different. That also comes to dieting. Our bodies react to food differently. Me personally, it's anything that I eat. Anything that I eat makes me fat. But yeah, it's pretty subjective. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a certain type of food that makes you fat. It's all about how much you eat in total, which makes you fat, rather than what you specifically eat. I hope that makes sense. The final question is from Jun Sadiq, who says, are macros really that important as long as I'm getting in enough calories, protein, and keeping fat low? I would say that macros are very important, and I'm saying that from my own experience and also the experience of others and the experience of clients that I've had to deal with. We all have different body types, and our bodies react differently to carbohydrates, differently to fats, differently to proteins. From personal experience, I would say yes, they are. But then on the other hand, I would say no, they're not. Why I would say yes, they are is because I know from personal experience that my macros have to be tweaked a certain way for my body to get results. So there's a certain amount of fats that I'll need and a certain amount of carbs, whereas I will have a friend or a client that will need different. And it's only because our bodies react differently to foods. So in that sense, yes, it can make a big difference and it can be important. One thing you need to understand is that fat isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, it's body dependent. It's how your body reacts to certain macros and certain foods. If you're getting in enough calories, you're getting in your protein, you're keeping fat low, you can still get your results. What I would recommend is try placing an importance on macros, see how it goes, or even just try it freestyle. Get enough protein in, hit your calorie target, keep your fat low, see if it works for you. This lifestyle is about doing things that work for you, and the only way that you're going to know if something works for you is by trying it. So try both methods, see how it goes, and just take it from there. Anyway guys, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos, so if you want to get involved and you want to ask me questions, then follow me on all my social medias. The link should be up on the video screen somewhere, and it should also be in the description, so make sure you do that. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.